Hello and welcome back. This is the build I will be running on my Necros. It's a Creeping Terrify, though it does work very well with the Shadows as well, although no Shield of Shadows augment, along with Tigris Prime, Spirit Prime, Galatine Prime, Carrier Prime obviously, and Prime Laser Rifle. It's a 5-man team for this LoR of Retribution. It's only a normal, so it's not exactly going to be difficult. There's a bit of editing in this video just to cut out the parts that aren't really relevant. This is just to show the hack points, as well as doing a little bit of crowd control just to help out my fellow compatriots. Going to be starting off with introducing everyone, although they can't actually hear me, so it's going to be amusing when they finally get around to seeing this. We have Nex playing as Volt, who's going to be doing the majority of the crowd control as well as doing the bomb carrying. We also have Walnut, who is a Rhino, who's also crowd control and tank. And then we have Mo and Blitzmac, who are both EV trins of various different levels. One has higher range and a little bit more duration for a bit of bless. The other has a lot more power strength as well as a lot more a lot less duration. Sorry. That was the first hack panel on the first part of the LoR, and my awesome parkour skills coming into play there. The second one is hidden inside the building. Well, not really hidden, but I've noticed quite a few people seem to have difficulty with this. The next two are fairly obvious. You have the one on top of the scaffolding tower, which is just here. Awesome hack skills by me, as always. Look at that, missing them all. And the fourth one, is down on the other side. The first three are pretty much in a straight line. It's the one off to the side. Everyone does this differently, however, the way that my friends and I do it, we normally wait till the bomb is around 80% before we hack the fourth one. What's just happened there is if you shoot the bomb, it blows up and everyone near it actually dies. So it's always quite funny if you want to troll your friends, or if one of your friends is being a bit of a mongoloid about it, you can always just shoot the bomb just to kill them. Just demonstrating a little bit of the crowd control aspect of Necros there. His Creeping Terrify does work very well. And moving on to the second area. This is one of the trickier ones, particularly if you've never done it before. So making our way down through the tunnel. There is one down to the left, can be missed. It's sort of hanging from a vine, really. Well, it's actually a cable, but it looks like it's hanging from a vine. And then the next one is the one that I always forget about myself. It's sort of hidden off away. It's right there. Not exactly difficult once you know where it is, but for some strange reason I, as well as a lot of other people, always seem to forget about it. Third one is over to the right of that one. It's behind the thing, turbine looking creation. And then the fourth one is pretty much directly opposite of where you come in, although if you just quickly bullet jump up, it is behind this door, which is exactly the opposite of where you came in. And as you can see now, I am waiting for the tritium battery, or the bomb, to get to about 80%, because once all of these are active, it only makes the injector vulnerable for a certain period of time. Doing it at about 80% really seems to be the safest bet. It gives you enough time to EV, maneuver around, make sure you're doing things that you should be doing and not doing things you shouldn't be doing, as well as gives you enough time to get clear away from the bomb before someone shoots it and ends up killing you. Right, moving back out into the main area. A little bit more crowd control. My awesome parkour skills are about to come into play again, I can see. Yep, here we go. Missing every jump. Being absolutely amazing that I am. And just got to wait for someone else to come help me so I can open the door. Another reason Necros is particularly good at this is because if you have Desecrate going, you can pretty much survive the toxin We do have 3 rejuvenations, which is actually quite helpful, and pretty much we are essentially almost immune to the toxin. Now for this one, this is the easiest one. You've got one to the right, this one here behind the rock, which Voda could say is the hardest one to find, but to be honest, it's a tiny area. All 4 of the panels are in very close proximity, they're not too hard to find. You've got 2 directly in front of you, which you can see here. This is the one on the left, taking a little bit of damage here. It's alright though, I've got quick thinking as well, which does help. Another great thing about Terrify is it does nuke enemy armor, so the cause or the usage for having corrosive projection isn't exactly, well, still comes in handy, but it's not exactly a requirement, especially since we do have 3 people with Tigris Prime with the 100% status proc, and that element included being corrosive. Right, I've just dropped some energy pads there. That was because the doors actually glitched out and only 2 of us, myself and Nex, were able to get down to the injector. The other 3 are sort of stuck up. Oh no, there is one of us down here. It's an EV. Right, wait for Nex to get clear and shoot the battery. Everyone's safe and happy, and we will make our way back up. Right, back in the main area. Last one, it's the final hack point, and let's see how this one goes. It should be pretty easy. And oh look, doors are glitched again. Only 1 person required, apparently. Should need 2, but still, every little helps. Can't argue when there's a glitch in your favour. This one isn't exactly difficult. You've got 2 behind the injector across the bridges. You can see a bridge in front of me now. Just gonna shoot this guy in the head and make my way across. Now on the opposite side there is another bridge. You can sort of see the bridge across on the right from where I am here. With my awesome hacking skills, I'll make my way back across this bridge. Bit of crowd control because it always helps. Back across to the other side, and then there's this one. The other 2 hack panels are very, very easy to spot. They are pretty much directly in front of you as you enter this area. They're on the left and right of the actual injector, but they're pretty much directly in front of you. As said, there's the one on the right. Some good hacks in there. And then just spawn more things, why not? Bit of Terrify. Oh, it's at 92%. Gonna cut this one close. There we go. Interestingly, all 4 panels do not actually need to be hacked by 100%. All 4 panels just need to be hacked by the time the bomb blows up. So if you are having some trouble hacking, don't worry about it. Right, well that was the main point of this video, just those hack panels, but why not? Let's carry on and see how Necros fares for the rest of it. So for this one, I'm sure you're aware, it is the sort of security room along with a bit of hijack, and Nex is down apparently. What are we going to do with that poor little vault? I will be editing out the majority of this. It's just sort of to show that Necros now, considering the way he can be built, not to say my build is the best, but if you are looking for a creeping Terrify build that does sort of back up as a Shadows build, and all I've done to actually get my Shield of Shadows build is basically remove Creeping Terrify, put Shield of Shadows on, and I've replaced Cunning Drift with Power Drift, so I've got a little bit more power strength, a little bit less range, which isn't really required. For this there's a bit more range required, and it does work quite well, and it actually seems to function quite easily now really in LoR of Retribution. There is a slight problem with it, but we'll discuss that at the end. What I'm doing here is you may have noticed a large symbol up at the top screen, just matching it with the symbol with the pad. Basically what you do here is you just get to a pad and you stand on it, you don't move. If you move, you tend to kill your entire team. Again, Necros is very good for this due to creeping Terrifier as well as spawning shadows, so you are really able to just hold your ground and not really mind whatever that comes towards you. Like I said, I'll be skipping certain parts of this out because it's not really great fun watching my friends run around, hack panels and stand on pads. So hopefully they get this over and done with as quick as possible. If not, I will be having stern words because they need to up their game. Although the one thing that they did note on during this mission is that the shadows can be a bit off-putting because you do see a lot of bombard missiles and napalm fiery effects flying around, and it does tend to make people a bit twitchy, particularly at this level, because if you do get set on fire, it is a pretty quick death. Right, another hijack mission really here. Stand on the panels. There's a select amount of panels at each side, and once the Fomorian core comes out, you need to be on the panels because there is electricity on the rail, and if the Fomorian core is caught on that electricity, it will damage the core, and if the core dies, well, mission fail. Another hiccup, well, it's not really a hiccup, it's just a bit annoying. The Grustag 3, they spawn here at level 80. They can be a bit of a nightmare if you are not prepared for them, or if you simply can't find them, because there are a lot of mobs spawning as well, and it can be a bit irritating. A bit more Terrifier, a bit more shadows. Apparently one of my friends forgot where one of the pads is, so I've had to mark it up for him, and he just completely missed. He's so skillful. As you can see, there's a lot of flames flying around, and it does make people a bit twitchy, so you do need to sort of either pre-warn your friends or the people you're playing with and just let them know that you will be using shadows. And obviously the way shadows works now is it spawns the strongest enemies that you have killed, so that will be the bombards and the heavy gunners, the napalms. I've had the hilarity of spawning a few manics at some point, although I think that has actually may have changed now. I've not seen it happen in quite some time. Moving on, this is a small area. There's just two pads in here, one where I am and then one over there, which I've marked again. I feel the need that I probably should mention that there are two people in this raid that aren't the most experienced. They've done a fair few between them, but there are others that have done more. I'm sure there will be people that criticise the way that we play, but everyone has their own way of playing a raid. Everyone has their own method, even if it is their madness. Reason I've marked that one is because so many people seem to forget that that one is there. So just marking it just to make sure that people remember that it's there. And already someone is on it, which is outstanding. I do like it when a plan comes together. Name the film, why not? Right, you can see there that the electricity on the rail. Blitzmac is up at the back trying to figure out where the pad is. I've just marked it roughly for him. I believe it's over there. At least I think it is. Be a bit weird if I thought it was wrong, or if it turns out to be wrong. Right, we'll just kill that guy. Yep. See. Oh, he's in the rough vicinity, and as you can see, the electricity is now gone. So next we'll be moving the Fomorian core forward. What we normally do is we take it to about the halfway point, just on the bend in the rail, and then we take out the Grustag 3 and then move to the next series of pads. There's one of the Grustag 3. EVs do very much come in handy here. They do quite a lot of damage. Creeping Terrify as well does help them. It doesn't make them run away. It just really does slow them down though. Right, trying to find the other two. I actually have difficulty finding them at this point. I nearly get myself killed. I take a rather substantial amount of damage from something which I can't quite figure out, and I completely mong it. It turns out that he is literally just on my right to where I'm stood now, but I just completely neglect to check that corner. As you can see, I'm taking some serious damage. I've pretty much looked directly at him. There he is. Completely neglected to actually realise that it's him again. It's actually taken one of my friends to mark him for me to realise who he is and where he is. So yeah, that's absolute atrocious playing there by me, but I hope you'll forgive me. Right, and I've forgotten where the pad is, and I'm making my way there now. Again, stand on all the pads, and the electricity is clear, and next is now moving it forward. Shadows here do come in handy. They just help take some of the aggro off you so that you can either help deal with the Grewstag 3 or just generally cover you. I have tried this as an actual Shield of Shadows build, although they do generate a lot of aggro and they do help with your survivability. I find adding the effect of Creeping Terrify as a little bit of extra crowd control is a lot more beneficial for the team, where Shield of Shadows is more beneficial for you. Me personally, I see nothing wrong with being downed in a LoR of Retribution. There's a lot of working parts and there's a lot going on, so not really, no shame in going down. So I find using Creeping Terrify and helping to benefit my team as a whole rather than helping to just to benefit me is a bit more useful, though if you wish to use Shield of Shadows, why not? And then on to the final part of the mission, killing the big bad Vahek himself. Well, he's pretty big. He's not that bad. He looks like a giant turkey in his terror frame. Although the one thing I really do hate about this is pretty much his missiles will one-shot anything other than a serious tank. Basic sketch of this is what we do is we mark the door and then people run around trying to collect the bomb while others figure out where each individual pipe leads, and then they stand on the pad to open the door, in which case the bomb carrier picks up the bomb, they go into it. Once the bomb is at 100%, the bomb carrier drops it, it blows a nice hole in the top, and you have a smoking chimney. There are 6 chimneys, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am mistaken. Well, we've done 1 anyway, so we'll keep count as we go round. For the general gist of this mission, I wouldn't really say crowd control is a priority. I would actually say more kill everything is a priority. It's always good to have 2 people opening doors, another person collecting the bomb, and then the remainder of your team, which for us leaves 2 people, just kill everything as much as you can. And for some strange reason I am still stood on the pad, despite the fact that it is done. Alright, we're going to move on to the next one, straight onto the pad, open up the door. It takes a while to get used to where each pad is for each door. If you really do need to, I mean, I have to on quite a few of them, particularly when you get absolutely fragged by Vahek, is just run to the door and follow the pipes. Just remember they run pretty, although they do like meander as it were, they don't actually sort of fly off at a right angle. So if you do come to an interjunction, as you can see directly in front of me there, it's the one that goes straight across. It's not going to hit it and then go straight left or right. It's straight across. As you can see, I'm following the pipe because this one always seems to throw me because they're right next to each other, and it just doesn't really seem to click. But yeah, that was 2 chimneys. We're now going to do the third one, and I'm now trying to shoot my own shadow, which is outstanding. And I'm probably going to get killed here because I'm not learning my lesson. I've just got hit about 3 times by Vehek's charming bombs, and just not going to learn at all apparently. There we are, it's about time. That is the annoying thing with shadows in this area. They do generate a lot of aggro, and they really do help you out. The only problem is, due to the amount of aggro they generate, if you're standing near them, you are pretty much going to get killed yourself, or get yourself killed, really. If you're standing next to a shadow, you kind of deserve it, which is a bit annoying with the Necros, because obviously to regenerate their health, you call them back to you. There is another problem which will be demonstrated shortly. I believe it is pretty soon. Although on the plus side, where they generate a lot of aggro, they can take quite a bit of damage from Vehek, and they do just stand up again. It's quite effective. Alright, that was the third one, so we're now moving on to the fourth one. That's the bomb carrier, which will be shot sufficiently until he dies from it. And yet again, I am now taking a pounding. Apparently I did not have a Desecrate active, which does help with the health orb drops, as well as just extra resource. Why not? Everyone likes a bit of extra resource. Right, I believe that is the problem with shadows, is sometimes you will spawn an enemy with the bomb, and it gets quite annoying at this point, because this is one of my shadows. He has the bomb. Another enemy who we can actually kill will not spawn with a bomb until he dies. So we now have to wait for him to die, which is quite infuriating. It does slow it down quite a bit, but on the plus side, when he dies, he does drop the bomb. And there have been a few times when, I'm not sure if others have noticed this, but there have been a few times that I've done a LoR, and it takes quite a while for some of the enemies to actually drop a bomb, or even spawn with a bomb. The most annoying part about this is the fact that you do end up just sort of standing around waiting for one of your shadows to die, as well as, for some strange reason, on occasion they will just randomly heal. I can't quite figure it out, but still, he's dead now. He's dropped the bomb. Next is now charging the bomb, so we open up the door. I'll call the minions back to me just to generate a little bit more aggro, as well as heal them. And I believe that was the last one, so I think it's actually 5 chimneys. Minions are pretty good here because they generate a lot of aggro, so Vehek very seldom actually targets you. Like I said, we do have 3 people with Tigris Prime, so after like 2 or 3 shots each, his armor has been completely reduced to nothing, as you can see with the red health bar there. And he is also subject to being slowed. And it doesn't really take long with the shadows, as well as, well, Tigris Prime wrecks most things. So give you guys a quick wave, and that, I believe, is that. Just give you a nice little show and demonstration of all the abilities and love. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you see, and I will see you next time. Have fun.